All I'm saying is that I'm very excited for this game. You know why?
Yeah.
Because every single champion in the game has so much mobility and so much agency to play the fights the way they see them necessary. So
Not at all at risk there. Baus will just use his ward hop and get out. You know, standard stuff.
I mean, it's not ideal for Ozan, right? Of course, you get the flash out of Baus, but that's what he wants. And now you've delayed your Wukong clear. You're going to delay your level 6 by a little bit, right? Like, that's a solid 20 to 30 seconds right there chasing. And in the meantime, the rest of the team on Los Ratones, they're taking the first dragon. So DeHaste is going to be a human ward and check out the situation real quick. But realistically, he's not going to be able to do too much as well. You can always just flash away over this wall if the worst comes to the worst.
I don't think he's going to have to, because the other thing is he's going to have a magical journey. There you go. Straight out that way. There you go. Teleports out with the help of a mystical being. I don't know what Bard is, though. Ozan is around. He's got level 6 of his own.
Yeah, no TPs on the top lane, so it's a 4 versus 4 right now. Wukong is incredibly powerful, and the ultis for Los Ratones aren't that great. So I really do think that this should be Rich Gang favored, and I think Los Ratones are going to concede.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Look, they've taken the one grub, said that'll have to do. They'll give over the other two. They don't want to fight too aggressively, and you called out saying, look, this level 6 spike's just way more powerful.
They really aren't combat ultis, right? Like, Bard ulti is short, it's great. Stasis might pop a flash and engage. Jax is on the way.
Oh, you're right, he is. Looking to potentially get onto someone. The Xante's also collapsing, sort of, but he's just going for that proxy farm. But Baus, without the TP, he's going to walk into 2 members. He's got a counter-strike now. This one gets a bit weird.
It's a big ultimate.
Oh, and Grand Starfall as well. Looking to find an angle. Flash, stun from the shield. Val, second charge of the Cyclone, but I think DeHaste is likely dead. Ozan tries to flash away. He's got nothing left, and they lose 2. There's the conditional value of your Grand Starfall.
From the Jax to the face, you can see what Baus did was he proxied between the tier 3 and the tier 2 tower to find tempo to be able to move down and contest the dragon here. It just feels like a really slow bleed out for Rich Gang as they get picked twice at the dragon. Wait, Crowley just snapped forward. Almost a punish there.
Flash, Tempered Fate. Oh, it's supposed to be the Talir without flash that's more at risk, but Alaric going forward gets stunned into a wall, and the engagement on the Crowley is swiftly punished. Nice Tempered Fate.
Nice reactions from Crowny into a nice punish from Reckless. The Tempered Fate was fantastic. And now it looks like Kevo is... he's going to fall as well.
Oh no, he went forwards, tries to get the kill. The aggro is there. It's on an iconic champion, but this time that aggression just leads him into an early grave.
Cross map right there as Rift Herald actually resets. I think trying to fight here, if you're Rich Gang, it does make sense because, you know, this is probably like the most item parity you're going to have for a while. Yeah. Second item's going to come in for LR, definitely. First for them, as you can see, a needlessly large rod on the Azir. So trying to fight 1 to 1.5 items is generally ideal. Unfortunately, not going to find that fight. And as LR, you know, in response, they're going to say, okay, you can have Herald. We're just going to cross map down in bot side, get more gold onto Nemesis, and accelerate him to a second item really, really quick, which is going to hit hard, because, I mean, that's looking like a death cap right there, or a Shadow Flame.
Oh, Kevo, he's in so much danger. Does have flash. He's going to need to burn it for the rocket. It's a big one. Headshot. Kevo's down.
That's a big kill right there. Killing an Ezreal with a flash after the Tempered Fate hits. Not flashing that Tempered Fate is going to cost him his life. So that's a really early soul point by them. That's if that is soul point, yeah, it is. That's going to be a really, really, really early soul point. We're looking there. Look, we're staring down the barrel at a 21-minute soul, by the way. Which Rich Gang have to make sure to be online for, as we try to cross map top for the Wukong. And
Bounties
a
at 17
small
minutes.
Gold injection. They still haven't picked up a kill, Sam. There's not been a kill.
Adam, stop. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. The moment you call for it, Nemesis, no! He's out. Grand Starfall. Velia's now in a 1v2 and says, yeah, I can win these. Getting shoved back there with the Introver Strikes Part 3. Alaric very low. Gets the mount up, but he doesn't get the knock away. Last Comet Spear. We're doing flash. Jump forward with the shield vault. Now look at Matix. Reckless is coming. And I think the Cassandre, not even then can they find the kill. Crowdy's going to go Valkyrieing forward to say, yeah, welcome to Valhalla. I'm going to deliver you personally. Crowdy on a rampage.
An absolutely insane play. I mean, surviving that play from Nemesis and then the Pantheon ult in. I want you guys, if we get a replay of that, to keep an eye on the sidesteps from the Pantheon. But another fight up top.
DeHaste ends up taking so much damage just from their raw autos there. Can maybe try and get over a wall, does wall hop out, but there's Kevo waiting. I think that will be finally a first kill. Kevo gets the shutdown. Rich Gang on the board. It'll just come at the low price of a tier 2 bot side.
A low price if we're on opposite day. I think that's going to be a lot of gold for Crowny right there. 363 gold each. Tier 2s giving them up is always going to be a little bit rough. TP coming in as well. Can we slow chase here?
Resist with the Gatling gun as well. Anybody who steps forwards into that pair of 80, I was going to say 80 carry, I suppose at this point Pantheon kind of is really in his own way, and they're going to get the other turret top side. It's just going to get shredded. They got the tier 1 into the tier 2 bot side. There's another tier 1 falling in this top side as we look at it as well. Reckless will trade on to Matix for no damage, but aura farm. It's a lot of XP.
Interesting.
Woo.
It is, and we're going to get more flowers now to take a look at as Los Ratones. They're kind of cleaning this up. They've got Azir DPS.
Yeah, and then Corki had 2 items. It's gone.
Oh, he has a death cap on Azir.
Yeah, he does.
He has a Nash's death cap at 20 minutes. No budget items with the Rylai's here. We're doing damage.
That's just a kill on the Dehast. He just got Grand Starfalled.
Exactly. You see a front to back trying to form here for Los Ratones as Azir TP's behind. No crazy flank angles. I do believe.
Oh,
wait, hang on. Hold up a minute. Baus
just 1v2'd and blew up the Talia. Now Kevo needs to run away as Nemesis is looking, but that Ezreal has to flash on out. Does have an arcane ship that's available. The Cosmic Binding lands in Crowny, goes unstoppable. A shove into the wall, dragged all out. That might well be the end of Velia, but no, he's still got a flash. And Crowny picks up another. They'll keep going for more because Baus is saying, I have got so much burst at this point. Matic needs to try and footwork out, but he ain't Messi. He's on the other team, and the bowl player is just a little better.
Baus has died 4 or 5 times by now. That hasn't happened. So my man's has... I don't think you're going to be able to chase him there with that phase rush, so going to be a failed attempt. And there's a global down for Dehast as an engage comes through mid.
Ozan's dead.
Oh,
There's no other way around it. Has to flash over the wall, and Crowny says, yeah, no, you don't. He just has to burn Valkyrie. He's still got flash. He's still got barrier. Not threatened in the slightest, and just punished the Cosmic Binding onto Kevo. The Ezreal gets blown up as well. Oh no, Crowny continues to look for more. He's flashing for it. His belief in the Corki looking well founded right now. He thinks his champion is broken. Grand Starfall to the backside is immediately seismic shoved, and Velia may now be a little deep, but I don't think they care. Reckless gets to Dehast. The Rocket Bell came up forwards. There's a counter strike empowered by 2 items worth of AP, and they'll bring down Alaric as well. It's Matix alone in the base as Los Ratones begin to run rampant. These structures not long for the world.
Domination in every single lane for Los Ratones. Almost every single neutral object. I mean, look, from start to finish, it felt like they'd been in control. As Matic's going to try a last-ditch effort to defend the Nexus, but he's going to be taken down, shredded, brought down to 0 as LI on the base.
They will take down the Nexus turrets, and Los Ratones say that our early games being weak. Well, imagine what happens when they look as good as this. It is domination. It is ruthless. It is relentless. And Los Ratones will claim game 1 in emphatic fashion.
It's that Naruto scene with the training weights off, I feel like, for Los Ratones.
Orianna combo with potentially Rakan, Wild Growth, Polymorph, all the slows, the shields as well. If you don't get through that initial burst, it's gonna suck.
I'm just gonna say, there's only one target for Rich Gag right here.
Like, if you start going in with the Nocturne Orianna and going like 1 for none or 1 for 1 and not getting enough value there, the extended fights are going to get very tricky. And remember about that flash being down. It's not even with the level 6, it's just jumping on forwards. Nemesis waiting for the force to fall on the Dark Sphere, and the kill goes the way of Velia, just out of range of the turret afterwards. And as the punish we were talking about, Dehast down for first blood.
It's going to be a dragon to Los Ratones.
I mean, you were literally saying that the Nocturne Orianna combo needs to work. We need to see value from it. The first ultimate leads to not even a flash blown. It's just a flag and drag. You need to be getting more value from that, and that is not a good sign for Rich Gang, as another early dragon's going to go the way of Los Ratones. They've already started to get significant advantages in those side lanes as we've been talking about. Sure,
like he's going to commit, and you can see the mentality behind Los Ratones is they're not going to fully commit to contesting this. Crowny actually ran bot side, but Velia might have something to say to Ozan. No ulti available for the Nocturne.
Yeah, could get a bit interesting. Again, the Paranoia is down. Reckless is here as well with that Wild Growth you called out a little while earlier as well. So even if you do go in, just press the R button, become a little bit bigger for a little while, and it becomes a lot harder to kill you. So those grubs will get traded to Los Ratones, and that's a second early game objective. They've gotten that first kill. They need a couple more of those, but this second objective towards the feats of strength marker, it's another strong early game that isn't scrappy, it's disciplined, which I think is the term we wanted to use. Again, for all the farm numbers have always been good, plays have often been a little bit back and forth as Ozan. Oh no.
No flash.
No Paranoia, he's just dead. The Cataclysm there, and it is just a leash. Clean. These early games, 2 games in a row, have been clean, have been disciplined, and Rich Gang have not managed to find any counter punches at all. They've been barely able to find something in the way of kills. At the moment I say it, Velia enters a bit of 1v3. He's about to get Paranoia. Kevo's coming on over. I apologize, Velia. That's what we call a caster curse, folks.
Yeah, Nocturne mobility and Ambessa mobility. You find the dive with the first item on Eclipse on the Ambessa, who can now look to take better trades as well into the volley bearers. Rich Gang, they're going to look towards topside.
Oh, Baus going to chunk out well onto Matix. Ozan coming on over, has got 8 seconds on that Paranoia. Matix will eat a lot of damage before getting that. Another Sky Splitter comes on down. Matix is really afraid! They tried to wait on the Paranoia, and he just steps too far forward. He's going to try and reset out. Got a 3-level advantage here, also. I don't know how easy this will be. We'll ult through the shockwave, and the Stormbringer comes on down, trying to turn it around, as he's got a Sky Splitter. The damage back is foul. Sure, you've got a Conqueror.
Rich Gang, they tried to go onto the Lulu, but aren't going to find anything. A punish onto Osan as he enters his weak side, maybe.
Oh, man. Force of Will. Ult! And an execute.
Elastic.
That's another kill going on over. Los Ratones punished as he tries to get into the bot side jungle. It just goes from bad to worst. Sure, you got an ult and a heal off Reckless, but that really is the smallest of silver linings.
Yeah, Alaric gonna flash engage,
Hang
though.
on. They've got the decent exhaust down and get the flash in the barrier. There's no on the hunt quite yet because he's trying to run for his life. The last auto!
No.
Flash for the burst fire. TP behind. In comes Syndra. Alaric now potentially in danger. So is Kevo, who can maybe look to try and skate around here as Reckless also low. Flag, drag, knocked out of his E. No chance to get over the wall, and they will turn this one around. Nemesis donated another kill, and Rich Gang finally engaged, but it doesn't come for free.
I think Bowser's showing another level in terms of the 1v1.
Like he's had to go towards Executioner's calling, just try and manage it. Here comes the Paranoia, the Knockwave combo. That is nice. The moment we speak well about it, though, Baus ends up blasted by that mid-jungle duo finding their way towards the top lane.
This tower, when you be approached to by Los Ratones here, with the 2 gruff to 1 advantage, this will be Nemesis hitting this tower and taking it first.
Will indeed be there with the additional grubs. Reckless also around, so that turret goes on down. They've already claimed feat of strength with the objectives and the kills going their way, so the strongest feat in existence. Lots of gym training.
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah, that's usually you almost always see it with First Blood Tower. You don't usually see it with all the objectives on one team and purely kills. That caught me off guard right there. I get the feeling that Bowsy's not going to respect and that he's just going to hit towers anyway.
What on earth would give that away? You know, there's no historical precedent for Baus playing aggressively or over-aggressively in a side lane. Never been known to die for a wave.
And now we're looking for the Nocturne Ori combo. Can we one-shot Nemesis in side lane here? That's the question.
Look for the Knockwave combo. Oh, the Luden's proc is good, but there's a Wild Growth behind, trying to scatter the weak after having already unleashed the power. A lot of balls go scattering forwards. Force of Will available. Flag, drag. And I think Ozan is going to be picked up by Reckless. Now trying to run after D-Haste, who does get his bit of a speed up there with the command Dissonance. Over the wall goes Alaric with the Battle Dance, but Crownie now coming on forwards. Flag, drag, the quickness back. Kevo will turn into Lightning Crash to buy some value, but Crownie throwing out a large P to the delivery, looking a little bit aggressive. And I don't know where the Rich Gang Dragon started. This is another early soul point from Los Ratones.
It is like 2 games in a row of extremely early dragon stacking, but Rift Herald placed mid. That could buy them time, but an EQ flash.
Oh, it's onto Kevo. The exhaust means nothing. They've blown up the Zeri. The gold leader has gone for Rich Gang. Now Ozan is dead as well. They tried to herald in mid lane, and Los Ratones go, no, you can't. They turn back towards the dragon, and they get the best of both worlds.
And I thought Kevo might flash the EQ from Jarvan right there. The dragon flag isn't going to be flashed in Kevo. He just gets completely popped. I mean, it's a kill on line push again. I feel like we're just seeing the exact same game where solo laners are winning, and it looks like they completely agree. Bao's gonna shift from top push to mid as Kevo burns his ulti.
Lightning Crash comes on down, and on the hunt to trade back out and away. That's Velia, though, a little bit split off from the squad. Does he get a shockwave, but there's a Wild Growth to keep him safe, and they just turn it around. The power's unleashed. And Crownie with a ricochet of pizza brings down Ozan, who's just feeling a little bit too full after all of that food.
Yeah, 0-5 now on the Nocturne. The dives really aren't working out too well. The laser's going to be eaten by the spell shield, and that's going to be mid-tower as Nemesis threatens the flank.
Oh, he that's cut the side of Alaric and Kevo mid-quickness. They will turn off the turret after. It's disaster into disaster. Kevo over the wall will throw an Ultra Shock laser. Another double scatter of the week.
God.
Nemesis hits the absolute max value on scatter those fights.
I mean, Nemesis and Velia have been demons, but then you throw in Crownie with the boomerangs, and now Baus is going to finish off Kevo with the Protobelt. It is brutal. Yeah.
Here's another really good one for you. Vitrify. To turn to glass and dust. There is nothing left. It is brutalist.
I think that's appropriate. That is definitely appropriate as the gauge comes through.
I don't really know whether that's an engage or maybe a really quick journey over the cliff lemming style. It is, in fact, a journey over the cliff lemming style. As Crowny says, here, let me shove you over a little bit further. Bounce now on a flank. Alaric's about to realize, oh no, there's a really angry bear
No flash
here.
to Haste.
Haste is trapped inside the cataclysm. Bounce can't actually get involved. And so it doesn't get the assist, but the kill still goes down. Cataclysm keeps that robot woman.
Nice, but it looks really, really painful there, although that might be the ultimate. But that's a tier 2. Matix is looking for a potential engage.
Flash, quickness, does get the backside. Crowny now in danger to get a bit of a shield there with the barrier. Now Velia coming on over. They polymorph Matix, the Ambessa, as the body rabbit gets nothing down and Crowny gets a double.
Matix tries, and on the 1.5 items, in some sort of way, we couldn't quite see on the left-hand side what happened, but Haste has no flash in this regard as well, in its entire time.
Reckless, he's got barrier to work with and just murders them all. They're finding another stun. Alaric needs to get away from that force of will. These splinters of wrath have long been collected by Nemesis, so he's got executes and fake AP death caps, courtesy of that pass, and now Ozan's going to throw it off the lights, and unfortunately the paranoia really was justified. They are out to get you. They'll teleport in and de-haste. Oh boy, that TP. Yeah, you guessed it. It sucked. The Cataclysm comes on now. Flag drag across onto Alaric. Kevo is split off from the team, and he is swiftly brought low as well. Velia gets that one on the killing spree. Flash out of the sky spinner, but the rocket belt after. You can't run away from this volley bear. As Baus picks up another. Los Ratones, it's 25 minutes on the clock, and the inhibitors are falling.
That's, yeah, it looks like it's going to be wrapped up in under 27 minutes, 26:30, thereabouts, if LR choose to end the game right now. Alaric's not going to be able to do anything. He's going to watch the Nexus explode. That is what are these two games, Sam? This has been so brutal.
Welcome to the clinic, folks. It is absolutely disciplined. It is absolutely clinical.
I'm just in complete awe that we said, hey, your really strong part here is your early game, and you're looking in a smolder way that want to play for 3-4 items, right? So
we're not going to do that, and everyone shows. I think numbers are known here. By Rich Gang, but
well,
ulti comes in. No flash
he's
to
not
Haste.
got a flash. He can only fit one person. The knockup comes on through. It's a beautiful trap, and Los Ratones pounce with alacrity.
Sorry, 2 games in a row where Haste, it feels like, has just been punished in this early game on these mobile control mages. But
this time, Rich Gang got the early dragon, yeah, and it's an early-ish one as well. We've had a lot of early souls this game,
That's
and again, one of
the words. And maybe he'll look to punish the flash with a lack of flash of the Haste.
Speaking of, oh, you just called it. It's now a 1v2 though. Spiraling Despair overcomes Valley looking to get the ult on down. They will kill off the Cho'Gath, but the Heartbreaker allows a potential steal of the body, buying Tyler. Doesn't actually want to steal it too early here. Now has all of 9 abilities from Play to potentially use. We'll use the Molten Fissure initially. I'm not sure whether you needed to put out that little tranquil path, the fleeting current. Can maybe come over the Walker Matix here. Maybe fight this one out. Umbral dash over, but the stun onto Ozan is tricky. Nemesis is low. Needs to try to back away. Survives. Body stolen. Available. Matix has actually not got a flash or an ult to work with. Ends up being a 2-for-2 in the grand scheme of things. Is Velia in the form of the Trundle is chomping away. I don't think Matix with his good sidesteps. De-haste has respawned, and he's used that fleeting code to come back over. And Velia will say, "Look, I'm out." And Heartbreaker's over the wall.
Being able to get a Triumph Rock and maybe continue going, he manages to fall. And that's another skirmish in the topside river that's LR favored, and that's going to convert into a chomp onto the grubs for Baus and a stack for his feast, but also 3 grubs now, and a neutral objective for LR. Now they can play the side lane extremely well with Ryze and his ults to side, as well as overloading side lane. But look at this.
Yeah, Elastic Slingshot in. Remember, Nemesis does not have the flash. Has burned a lot of cooldowns as a result of that. Trying to find the realm. More bound! He gets out! He's ignited and goes down! It's the smite!
The subjugate ignite was too much for him to live there. An excellent play. No ulti now for Ozan.
Because I thought that there'd been a change to allow Sender to stack souls faster. No?
Yeah,
Just
that was
really
ridiculous.
insane soul stacking.
But not going to see quite that level of stacking as a team fight comes through. Velia might be picked here. That's a good bounce back.
Oh boy, he does get over the wall. Will flash away from Smolder, comes summoning the mum.
Burn?
He just dies at Subjugate after the Spiraling Despair comes on down and they pick off another kill.
With the Severing Strike, the Severing Bolt rather, and the ultimate from the mom. Sorry, such a terrible name. From Smolder. Coming in over the top, it's just super, super hard for Velia to get in there and potentially try to set up the play. And Engage comes through now. Alaric again, this is going to be such a neutral lane, so I need to get excited for that.
Too much. That's a decent double pulverize. Gets Chunk back, though, with the stretching strikes. Alaric is ignited, but I don't think he cares. Remember, he's still got his passive to work with. Will flash on in to start Let's bouncing. Crowny is just going to go down. And now Reckless going to get Alaric caught under the turret. Nemesis turned up with the Realm Warp. Baus is dead as well. You're right in the 1v1. Dehaste coming on up, forces a flash out of Nemesis. There's going to be the passive down from Alaric, and they will get that kill eventually.
Los Ratones, 2 dragons for Rich Gang means that they can essentially do nothing here for the longest time and just scale to 225 for free. Yeah. Realm Warp to top side, though, on the side lane.
Trying to find the crushing more and a bit of a resist. Haste already flashed on that bot side player, will likely die, but the Spiraling Despair comes on forward. Velio though with a bit of a response until, of course, Ozan whacks him with a club. Nemesis, remember, no flash, will go down as well. That makes it the 2-for-1. The Realm Warp play goes very wrong.
The immobile control mage is that the Haste likes to play, but Bonks come in for Ozan right here, and Matix with a TP to save the play as well. Any variance because you outscale on contesting this dragon. But that's not what Alaric wants. Alaric has decided he wants to fight, and he's getting engaged on.
We'll try and throw down that Let's Bounce. We'll get the stretching strikes like you die here. That's a good amount of CC, though.
Oh, my.
Should surely, but no! The shield! Courtesy of Way with that Tranquil Pool. Baus now being run down by Matix. Throws out a Rupture.
Ratones right here. I mean, combo that with the Mom from Kevo is just absolutely a mental amount. But like you said, the shielding.
Try and play that one bot side. I think Nemesis should still get tier 1 turrets top, and that will actually end up being the first turret over to Los Ratones. That's feat of strength as well. The problem is the bot side of the turret is going to go down. The Haste has to flash away from Baus, who's looking for the Feast combo. It is an AP Cho'Gath, so that is still quite a lot of damage to work with. Crowny lands a deadly flourish. Alaric is around though, and Baus not going to have the easiest time feasting that Zac, but still going to get out safely.
Who's potentially split pushing, but you really don't have anyone that could side lane that's strong. It feels like your win con's super thin right now. And just to outplay, Matix is going to win side against both champions.
Nemesis.
As Nemesis tries his best.
Yeah, Valia's being forced to run away through the Harrow Path. There's a stretching strike on the Crowny from max range. Oh, Crowny, he's got no flash. He's got nowhere to go. We'll throw a bit of damage back on DT Haste. It doesn't matter. That's a kill going the way of Kevo. Alaric gets over the wall with the elastic slow shock, a flash out as well. They get the Realm Warp. Now Baus is potentially in dangerous. Dehaste throws out the Spiraling Despair. Remember, that's not a very tanky Cho'Gath. Infernal Chains will pull him back. Can't go for too tall. Reckless finding the flash head, but Pulverize maybe looking for his own play. Devastating Fire, just go wide, but into the back and goes Alaric. They do feast down the way, but over comes Matix, who's looking to trade back as well. Reckless getting the double Pulverize, but is traded out to 1-for-1 there. But Baus is so down low, it's quickly a 2-for-1.
Really hard to play. I feel like Rich Gang, they're just on pace to completely destroy this game, provided there's no tremendous int here. Rich Gang.
That might be a little bit of an int. Kevo is strictly around. They might just give it up. They're going to play for the tier 1 bid and say, yeah, it's not that big a deal. Risky, but you are scaling well, and they don't want to fight the 4v5.
It makes sense. They don't want to play any kind of volatile fight, 4v5 like you're saying, and then risk losing the summoners before the soul fight, right? You really don't want to lose Smolder's flash.
Look at these turrets.
And potentially give over a reset with a Smolder and so on, so
super regularly. Matix is going to be forced to ult here on the other side of the wall, and coming on through. He's in a 1v3.
Sterak's Sunder, can he live?
Deadly Flourish, but he's got Sterak's and Sunder Sky. I think he could do quite a lot of work. Nemesis in the end flashes out. They do get the kill, and now actually it's Velia in the Aatrox's body. Alaric forced down to the Cell division. Dehaste is knocked up. Now he's in danger. Crowny with another Deadly Flourish. Also has to flash on out. And you were saying without the potential big int, I think this is the big int. Oh, Rich Gang, not like this. Velia does go a little too deep and can't get Kevo. The hype happens a bit too far, but it's still 3-for-1.
He can buy enough time for the rest of Rich Gang to help him out, as he's so tanky with this build. But the Ignite's going to come through, the healing on the autos is going to be reduced, and the burst is actually there. They have the gas to get through with the Jhin ulti and the Rise DPS on top.
Got the Titanic Hydra now done for this. It's actually behind. That's an interesting Realm Warp. 2v2 briefly. Good damage. Goodbye, Dehaste. And that's the reset number 1. Can start to spam through those Hwei abilities. The Grim Visage, the Crushing Maw, that Molten Fissure. A double for Velia, who has got those 2 items and begins to make them work for himself.
And it feels like Rich Gang are falling apart, and the only way that they can, with these overload plays and the ultimates, I don't think there's any other way that they can possibly lose. Getting picked off is the only way. If they were any kind of 5v5 situation, it's super dependent on getting resets, and that can be extremely difficult. If there's a game to lose, I think it's this one for sure, but Alaric's getting picked.
Oh boy. Does end up flashing away. The damage forwards onto Kevo. He's getting it by the gun call! No. And Nemesis gets it with the overload. That's one way of managing it.
And that's going to be Nash start. They've got Rise DPS, they've got Kraken Slayer on Viejo and Feast for Baus. And there's no way really to contest. Maybe if they played with poke, but I just don't think it's happening. That's going down extremely quickly, and it's gone. Is this going to be a comeback from Sol Point now for Los Ratones? Yeah. That's a lot of damage. Velia has been extremely strong this game, finding a lot of... And last game as well. Just a tremendous series from the player. Indeed. Right here with the 3 grubs on LR, which they have just done, is an ideal situation for Rich Gang, and it looks like they're going to actually lose their bottom tier 2 as well with the threat as they collapse from mid into side lane. And it's a massive injection of gold before the next dragon, but it is 25 seconds until Sol. Will LR be able to spend this gold? It doesn't look like it.
Deadly Flourish into a Spectral Maw potentially. There comes the Subjugate trying to turn it around, but Reckless ready to punish as Ozan and Alaric split off from the team. Mom is summoned, but I don't know if this PTA meeting is going the way Rich Gang would like it. Over the wall goes Nemesis, and the Trundle is dead again. There will be no smite available for this dragon.
It's incredibly hard to play. Functions as something like a Poppy right there, and Alaric just cannot find the engage, and then they're stuck in a choke versus the Overload bounces and so on. The AoE that comes from Crowny as well as... Honestly, I thought they were further ahead than that as well. I really did think Rich Gang was stomping a little bit harder than that as Snap Engage. Can they one-shot Trundle here?
I think they can. I think they can. A flash and fall from Reckless looking for the trample passive. Gets it. Getting some more autos down. Another Pulverize and goodbye Ozan. Reckless might now be in danger, but he's still got R to press. Gets out to safety.
Bounce onto Bounce, not Reckless. Get away because a Q was blocked, but oh no, an Engage, yeah.
Doesn't lead to too much more than the tier 2 right now. Rich Gang pull away, but it means they can't defend that. Gang has fallen away. They are now down 8,000 plus gold. Alaric goes in and immediately loses 80% of his HP bar. The Rupture comes on in. The curtains are called. And the Zac is down into bloblets and flubber. Unfortunately, is not getting a sequel. Velia picks up that body. Can maybe look to dive with the stolen form of the support. Goes Elastic Slingshotting in. Will try and ult away. He's got a bit deep, actually. And just gets shut down. Matix potentially also looking for a bit more.
Is there a long chase with Pillar here?
Yeah, there is potentially an angle. You just wonder, don't you? Deadly Flourish lands. Will deny Ozan stepping too far forwards. And Los Ratones will be able to extricate themselves, even if Ozan is just looking to find something. You know, but there we go. I had to find a Star Wars reference somewhere, mate. And that's the one I found.
I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Ozan.
They
Snap Engage onto him. Oh, no.
Oh, they do. He's gone. Nemesis picks that one up. Mom is summoned again. Alaric goes a bit further forwards. The Ace is absolutely eviscerated. Just about gets away with half his HP bar, but it will come at the cost of Alaric. So 2 people down.
To find
it's a short straw, mate. That's what they're drawing.
And they have 320 stacks on Smolder at this stage. Can they find a pick on the Baus? Usually the answer to that is no. As Dragon is spawning in 50 seconds and Baus is taking a reset. So everyone in Los Ratones is going to be on the map for this Drake.
Doesn't seem to matter. And the pick, the mechanics, the decision-making from Los Ratones in these later stages have been fantastic. Now they're at Soul Point as well. It is a 6 Drake game.
Right here as well as they get a bunch of uptime on this tower. Cannons aren't going to die to any kind of poke. And that's a tower that melts down extremely quickly. Rich Gang, it feels like they're just struggling to find anything to do.
Reckless goes in. Find the knock-up into Matix, the Deadly Flourish after. That's a 4-item Jin. He begins to hurt a lot more at this point as the passive begins to roll. Inhibitor chunked out low. 2 waves begin to look at those Nexus turrets instead, and the inexorable grind towards another NLC Finals. Another EMEA Masters appearance. Another trip to a LAN. Their path has been paved in gold all year long. They'll add another flagstone to it, it feels like, unless Rich Gang can turn this tide around. They've got a 4-item Smolder. Maybe that's the way, but Reckless over the wall! Jumps on the backline and Kevo is the target. In comes Nemesis with the Realm Warp! And he finds another! They will not be denied! No early game failures! No mid-game fumbles will deny them a quadra kill to Nemesis! No Penta this time, but I don't think he'll damn well care because it is another NLC Finals and Baus will celebrate in the way he always does with a fountain laser death! Welcome to Sweden! They're going to another Finals!
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.